Today, the flames of World War III are spreading from Eastern Europe through Western Asia and into East Asia. Currently, there is a high probability of expansion of war in Eastern Europe and a high probability of the outbreak of a war in East Asia. While World War I was the inter-imperialist war and World War II was the world anti-fascist war, World War III is a world anti-imperialist war. While in World War II, the socialist Soviet Union joined hands with the imperialist US and the UK in order to destroy fascism. But in World War III, the socialist North Korea and China have joined hands with the capitalist Russia against the imperialists. The World Anti-Imperialist United Front has been formed in World War III, succeeding from the World Anti-Fascist United Front in World War II. In other words, one anti-imperialist front and several anti-imperialist battlefields are being formed on a global scale. In particular, the war in South Korea is an anti-fascist and anti-imperialist war. Yoon Suk-yeol, who came to power in May last year as a colonial proxy regime of the US, has turned South Korea into a darkness with fascist repression as much as Poroshenko and Zelensky. In addition, Yoon, who has lost popularity due to various corruption and irregularities scandals and economic and diplomatic disasters, and who is facing an impeachment crisis, has become more aggressive in his anti-North Korea belligerence policy and nuclear war maneuvers to escape the political and economic crisis through war. The current situation in South Korea is such that it would not be surprising if a war broke out tomorrow. Imperialism is the root cause of all wars on a global scale and is solely responsible for provoking them. World War III particularly started according to the new Cold War strategy of the imperialist camp. While the Cold War began with the end of World War II in 1945, the new Cold War began with the outbreak of World War III in 2022. The Cold War was a confrontation between the socialist and imperialist camps, while the new Cold War is between the anti-imperialist and imperialist camps. The Cold War proceeded without any hot war between socialist and imperialist camps, but in the new Cold War, hot wars have been conducted between anti-imperialist and imperialist camps. Using the new Cold War strategy, imperialist camp is trying to demonize and isolate North Korea, China, and Russia by fabricating the fiction that the World War III was caused by invasions from these three countries in Eastern Europe, West Asia, and Eastern Asia. However, this is a strategic error that firstly unites Russia and China in a single anti-imperialist camp, secondly drives 2 billion Muslims into the anti-imperialist camp, and thirdly contradicts their own pretext for war due to the obvious inconsistency between an anti-Russian propaganda and pro-Israeli propaganda. The Cold War was won by imperialist camp, but the new Cold War will be won by anti-imperialist camp. As a result of World War III, the anti-imperialist camp will be decisively strengthened and a new socialist camp will be formed, which will overwhelm the imperialist camp and set the milestone for global independence. Founded in Paris in October 2022, the World Anti-Imperialist Platform has struggled to achieve its three major goals: organizing the worldwide anti-imperialist struggle, waging the ideological struggle against revisionism and opportunism, and strengthening the international communist forces by holding the international conferences and massive demonstrations in Belgrade in December 2022, in Caracas in March 2023, in Seoul in May 2023, and in Athens in November 2023. We will continue to move forward and struggle for the final victory of anti-imperialist camp with the scientific convictions of proletarians of the world unite, and people united will never be defeated. Thank you.